investment. And so this kind of goes back to that parable directly, about investing. Your leadership, if I could say it right, your leadership potential reaches its fullest expression when you develop other leaders. And I think that this can apply to staff, and that's kind of what I thought about when I wrote it. Yeah. This can apply to staff, but it can apply to kids as well. And kids in our ministry.
100%. Well, I mean, so there is investing in yourself, which is definitely what you should do, but this is more investing in your team and those people around you, which includes the Sunday school kids, because maybe one day when they get to be older, when they're not allowed in Sunday school anymore, because of you investing in them, one, they might help out in Sunday school as well, but two, which is the ultimate, is that they'll stay in church for the rest of their life, and they'll attribute that to the fact that you invested in them in Sunday school when they were young.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's you got to keep the big picture in mind. Yes, you want to invest in them to develop them to potentially even help out in Sunday school, but ultimately we're investing in these kids to give them a reason to stick around when maybe that's the only reason they have, or maybe they're the only person in their home that's even going to church, which we have several kids in our church right now that are like that, and they started coming to our church via the Sunday school bus.
Sunday school bus, yeah. Well, and the thing is, we have so many younger people in our church that are like, part of the backbone of our music ministry or various things that it came out of Sunday school.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I use Adrian, my son, all the time for an example, so I don't want to overdo it, but he started playing drums in Sunday school.
Didn't Matthew start playing drums in Sunday school too?
He might have.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago now.
It's been a long time ago, but...
Yeah, but both of them, very young, and critical part of our music program. I mean...
Yeah, both of those guys are...
Yeah, and probably not where Adrian thought he would be maybe 2 years ago, because now he's like the main piano guy.
Yeah.
And but you can just see that investment that was made in him when he was younger has gotten him to a place, not just in his musical abilities, but it's really his work ethic is where it's gotten him to where he's at. And it was all that investment when he was younger that's made him into who he is right now.
Yeah.
And if we could only see what those kids would be, if we invested in them, I think we would all have no problems investing as much time and as much effort as possible if we could only see what they will turn out to be. It's really difficult, but I promise
and it's in a blink of an eye too. It happens so quick.
Hey girl, we got one of my little ones in here. He's not so little anymore. He's getting to be a little bit too big for his britches, but it really happens overnight. They go from being little tiny chasing you around to all of a sudden being almost as tall as you, although they'll never be as tall as you. Hint, hint. And no matter how big they get, they can't take you. But but it really does happen overnight. And so one thing is we don't have all the time in the world.
Right.
You need to invest in them today.
Got to invest in them.
You got to invest in them right now. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till you're ready. Don't wait till your church has a bigger budget or whatever is holding you guys back. Invest in them right now. Yeah.
So I had a list of questions as it's 3 questions. Am I becoming complacent? Have I settled for mediocrity? And am I investing in others as I have been invested in? And so just really quick, I think this is something that I try to, it's not a super systematic approach or anything, but I try to do this with myself, is I try to evaluate every once in a while, and I just recently have done this within the Sunday school realm, is am I becoming complacent?
Yep.
Because it can be easy to be like, okay, we got a good thing going. We got a good system in place.
Yep.
And it's easy to become complacent where we're not like pushing for that discomfort.
Yeah.
And we're maintaining. And I don't think it's God's will for us to maintain.
No.
And then the second part of that, am I settling for mediocrity? Well, we would always say, well, no, of course not. But I think that so often we do settle for mediocrity because it's the easy way out. None of us admit that we're lazy, but sometimes we are.
Oh, man. I wrote down a title of a message during service today that said, "There's no easy button in God's church."
Yeah.
You know, there's that whole thing.
What was that? Staples?
I think it was Staples.
That had the easy
we hit the easy button. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That doesn't exist in the God's
I
kingdom.
want to get one of those.
Yeah, we would all love to be able to push the easy button, but that's just not how it works in God's kingdom. Brother Cody Marks preached in our October conference about God will never take you down the easy. Basically, he won't take you down the easy path. He's always going to take you on the long route or the more difficult trip. And so don't expect it to be easy, and don't try to figure out a way to only do it the easy way.
Yeah.
You got to work hard. It's going to take work no matter what you want to try to do. If you try to take the easy way out, it's not going to go where God wants it to.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned this in another podcast, and it got a lot of comments. But we were talking about God's will. I can't remember if it was with you or somebody else, but talking about God's will, and so many people, they're like, it was Brother Matthew. So many people are like, they try something and they get a flat tire and this goes wrong, and they're like, it must not be God's will. Really, we should flip that over, because if you look at all the examples in the Bible, you should be like, this must be God's will, because it's more difficult than I thought.
If the devil wasn't so interested, then you could be like, okay, maybe it's not. But the fact that he is so interested, or that things are just coming around that are trying to get in your way, that should give you a real good kick and say, okay, this is definitely what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's recap. So, intentional uniqueness. And I guess my main idea behind that is that God has created us. You know, we talk about, like, to kids, you are special. Mm-hmm. Well, I think as adults sometimes we forget that. But you are special. God made you how he wanted you. He didn't make Brother Philip Booker, you just mentioned, a good friend of ours, is awesome. He is the Sunday school guru. He's going to hate that. He is the man when it comes to Sunday school. But he did not create us to be like him. Mm-mm. He created us to be what we do here at our Sunday school. And so that's our, the uniqueness that we have is by design, and it's intentional.
And stop comparing yourself amongst yourselves. You're fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God, and God didn't take time to make junk. You're special.
Hey, that's my line from the skit that we do. You remember that in Art of Christmas?
Yeah.
Listen to me. I don't take time to make junk.
Yeah.
So we did I did a picture. This has been a few weeks ago now with in the Narnia theme with the snow, and so I sent that to in a chat, and I can't remember. I think it was Brother Bradshaw said, "I want to be like Brother Baker when I grow up." So Brother Bradshaw, you got to be your own unique self.
That's right.
And he's got a podcast too.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2 is divine accountability. And just remember that this mandate, this job that we have is from God.
It's a serious responsibility, but don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, it's a serious responsibility, so don't go and hide it. Don't go bury it. But also be excited that, I mean, man, God asked me to do this.
You should feel honored. The God of this universe has asked you to take on something that's so vital to the kingdom.
That's inspirational.
Yeah. Gets me excited.
Number 3, growth mindset. So we got to have a growth mindset. And growth is always preceded by discomfort. You got to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. In order to grow, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. That's the realities. And
then finally, investment. We need to invest in ourselves, invest in our team, invest in the kids. And it's something that, again, like we said in the opening, it needs to be with the idea of multiplication, not preserving.
Right.
I mean, we want to preserve our doctrine and all that, but we want to multiply.
When you invest in the right things, it'll always pay off.
Yes.